Hi everybody, welcome back to Goodnight Lighthouse. I'm Miss Dorothy and I'm here to read you another story. And I'm going to read you a story about a leprechaun. What is a leprechaun? A leprechaun is a little pretend guy that we can read about that does tricky things and comes out in the springtime. And this book is called That's What Leprechauns Do. That's what leprechauns do. This is a story about 3 little leprechauns that are getting into mischief. They try not to, but they do anyway because that's what leprechauns do. And we need to get into this book and find out if they can finish their job and stop being tricky. Are you ready to get inside this book with Miss Dorothy? Good. I need you to sit up and listen up because here we go. That's What Leprechauns Do. Written by Eve Bunting. Illustrated by Emily Arnold McCully. The 3 leprechauns sat under the chestnut tree. Ari looked up at the cloud-filled sky. "It's coming," he said, "and there's work to be done." Ooh, what's coming? Boo and Cole put on their red shoes and their caps and strapped their backs to their backs. "We're ready," Boo said, "but why is it always us that has to put the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow?" "Especially since not a single soul ever finds it," Cole added. Ari looked from one of them to the other. "Don't be asking," he said. "It's a leprechaun's duty, so it is. And fellows, remember, it's coming, so there'll be no time for mischief along the way." They walked in line, the one in front of the other one behind. No mischief along the way," they chanted. They're going to put the gold at the end of the rainbow? But when they got to Ballyboonin Farm, they saw Mrs. Ballyboonin's cow, Pansy, standing in the field. Ari whipped out the little bottle of red paint he kept in his backpack for leprechaun's business. He ran across to Pansy. "Stand still, my lovely," he told her, and he painted her hooves scarlet red. "Why is he doing that?" Pansy looked down. "Pretty," she said. "Imagine Mrs. Bellyboon's face when she comes to milk you," Ari shouted. He and Boo and Cole rolled over and over in the grass laughing. "She'll think I've been to a dance." Pansy did a couple of small hopping steps to demonstrate. The leprechauns clapped and whistled. "We'd be delighted to join you in a waltz or two," Ari exclaimed, "but we're in a desperate hurry." "I thought there was to be no mischief along the way," Bo reminded him. "Oh, sure, but I couldn't help myself. Mischief's what leprechauns do," Ari said. "Along with our more important duties." He glanced up as the tatters of clouds in the sky. "And we better not delay, for we've delayed enough already." But as they were passing old Jamie Bradley's house, they saw Jamie's gray woolen long john spread out to dry on his hawthorn hedge. What are they gonna do? The leprechauns looked at each other and grinned. Quick as a cat pounce, they ran across to the hedge and stood one on top of the other and the other on top of him. Ari reached up and tied the 2 long john legs together in a tight knot. They almost fell off each other. They laughed so hard. "It would be great altogether to stay and watch old Jamie trying to put his legs into those," Boo said. "But it will be a month of Sundays before they're dry, and we've not no time to waste. They're still playing tricks." They took a few minutes to somersault across Liam McCabe's garden. There was a yellow tennis ball in the middle of the road, and they rolled it along with them as they went. Miss Maud Murphy's hen Bertie clucked at them from behind her gate. "Bertie," Ari said, "would you be doing us a favor? Could we trundle this ball up to your nest, and could you sit on it for us? It'll be the great joke on Miss Maud Murray when she comes out to gather your eggs." They want to pretend the tennis ball is an egg. Bertie put her head to one side. It's not going to be easy sitting on that. But the 3 of you were so good to me scaring that fox away from my hen house last night. I'll do it." Cole stretched up and patted her wing. "Thank you, Bertie." They squeezed themselves through the gate and tumbled the ball with them. Then they heaved it up into Bertie's nest. She gave a trial sit on it. "I'll be sore underneath myself for a week," she grumbled. "But the thought of Miss Maud Murphy's face when she sees it, I've laid a yellow ball, will be worth it." "Won't that beat it all?" Cole gasped. "The 3 of you can help make mischief, can you?" Bertie asked. "That's what leprechauns do," Ari told her, "along with our more important duties." He stopped. "Is that spitting of what I feel?" 'Tis! Boo stared up at the sky where the sun was flickering through heavy clouds. A thin, cool rain had started to fall. Hurry, hurry, Ari ordered. It's come! We can't be late! They pulled their green slickers from their backpacks and settled their caps low to the ears. Anybody seeing them racing along the road would have taken them for 3 green leaves. But they were leprechauns, and they had work to do. Get them out, boys! Get them ready, Ari said. They took their little spades from their backpacks. Then they stopped for a minute to look up at the rainbow, blue and green and yellow and pink, that was arched across half the sky. There it is, Ari said with satisfaction. Come on. They have to make it to the end of the rainbow. They dashed across Paddywhacker's bog, found the place there where they kept the pot of gold buried for just such a rainbow occasion, and dug it up. Ari stood in the middle of the bog. Here, he said. The 3 of them placed the pot of glittering gold in just the right spot and watched the rainbow curve itself all the way down till it ended on the top of the pot. They did it. They got the rainbow to come down. The leprechauns settled themselves to wait. They tootled some grass-stalking music, threw raindrops at each other, and ate the rose chips they brought for snacks. They waited long, but nobody came. Once again, nobody came. You'd think somebody would find it, Cole complained. Somebody will someday, Ari said. Maybe we should put up a sign, Bo suggested. Pot of gold, this way. No, Ari said. That's not how it's done. There's a bit of magic to finding, and a bit of luck and a bit of imagination, too. That gold's waiting for just the right person. The rain had stopped. The sun went behind a cloud. The rainbow shortened itself, then disappeared. No use waiting any longer. Cole took off his cap and wrung the wet out of it. If we hurry, we could be in time to see Miss Maud Murphy discover Birdie's big yellow egg, he said. Boo laughed. Won't that be the great thing to see? All right then, Ari said. We'll put a rush on this. They buried the pot of gold in its usual place. Ari patted the smothered down bog dirt. Don't worry, Pot, he whispered. We'll be back to get you on the next rainbow day. Now we're off again to see what new mischief we can find, for besides our important duties, that's what leprechauns do. And they're watching as she finds the tennis ball. She can't figure out how it got where the egg was supposed to be. Oh, those tricky leprechauns. Look what they did. They played all kinds of tricks. They played a trick with the cow. They played a trick with the guy's pants. They had the hen pretend that this tennis ball was her egg. Look at how mad the farmer's wife is. She wasn't happy with that trick, but that's what leprechauns do. They get tricky and they plant pots of gold at the end of the rainbow. Now, that's just pretend, but it's a lot of fun to think about. Makes for some really good stories, and I really like thinking about that. When I see a rainbow in the sky, I wonder, is there a pot of gold at the end of that? Probably not. And it's really hard to find the end of a rainbow anyway. But this was a fun book, and I'm glad we now know what leprechauns do. Silly book, but fun, and that's what we're here for. We're here to have fun, read good books, and learn lots of stuff. That's why I love reading. That's why Miss Dorothy wants you to learn how to read, and why I want you to love books, because then you can go on adventures, learn new things, and have fun every time you open a book, like we do each and every night, right before we go to bed, because now it's time for all my little leprechauns to scoot off into bed. I need you to get under your covers, get cuddled up, curled up, ready for a really good night's sleep. And tomorrow, whatever you do, don't be so tricky. And if you do play tricks and Mom says stop, remember, obey. And obey right away. And then come back and see Miss Dorothy, because I'm going to be sitting right here ready to read another book to you. Bye! Thanks for reading with Miss Dorothy. I hope you enjoyed this book, and I hope you'll come back soon to read another. What's your favorite book? Drop Miss Dorothy a note and let me know. I'll go find it, and I'll read it to you. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share. I'll see you soon.